Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ace Devi. How are you guys doing? Thank you guys for your love, for your support towards the first and two episodes of season 1 of Let's Talk. Today I thought, you know what, let me switch up the angles a little bit. I'm gonna stand and talk to you guys because although this channel is gonna be emotional to an extent, I don't want to make it very sad and like where I have to come and then you guys have like lots and lots of tissue to like, you know, get your eyes like in case you start crying. But no. So today is season 1, episode 3, no, episode 2. Listen, I am excited about this show to the point that it's like, I don't know if you all can see me, but I don't know if my camera is cutting my shishi. But let me see. Let's see. I don't want to show you guys my entire room because it's not organized. Yeah, that's better. That's way better. So today it's episode 2 of Let's Talk, which is why I took a gap year when I came to the UK. So I told you guys in episode 1 how my transition journey was from Cameroon to the UK. Now, when I came to the UK, you expect me to like, because I came during the summer in August, and you expect like for me to have gone into school in September and just like falling into adapting. But no. When I came, I had written my GCSEs, which is GCE, and I wasn't 16 yet. And in this country, you have to be 16 before you go to college. So I wasn't 16 yet. So that is why I didn't go to college. I took a year off, which was not like, it was more like I really needed to take the year off because I couldn't have gone into college. I wasn't of the age. It was either I redid my GCSEs or I just waited and then went into college the previous year. And so I thought, you know what, I'm repeating the exams. Listen, GCE wasn't easy like that. And for me to have passed with 8 papers, girl, I had to work hard. So I'm not redoing. No. It's like, listen, even the smartest person, I don't think they like to redo exams. So I thought, you know what, I'll take a gap year. I'll figure myself out. I will adapt. So that year off was quite difficult. I would say it was quite challenging. The whole of that year was quite challenging because not only was I getting used to the weather, not only was I getting used to the food, not only was I getting used to the environment, but I was getting used to the people. Emphasis on people. I realized that the strong bond and the strong connection that we Africans get back home doesn't exist here because 4 months through the line, I didn't know who my next door neighbor was. Now, I didn't find that funny, especially when I came from like where I grew up with my auntie. It was open, so we're very open to our neighbors. Like I could barge into my neighbor's house and be like, "What's cooking for breakfast here?" I could barge into my neighbor's house during the day and find their mom cooking and just be like, "All right, mommy, is there enough Maggi in the stars?" You know, I could just walk into my neighbor's house and be like, "Can I have 200 for taxi, please?" But what I'm trying to say is the relationship, the connections, and the bond we build with our families back home, it's very strong. And that's something the European people don't have because 4 months, I didn't know who my neighbor was. I didn't know what they looked like. I didn't know what country they were from. In case they were Boko Haram or the ISIS. But I didn't know who my neighbor was. And it was something that was very funny to me because that relationship didn't exist here, and most of the time the doors were closed. So I got into volunteering. I got into doing, my first job was a cleaning job. I used to work for Hassel. At the time, I volunteered at the British Heart Foundation. I volunteered in a couple of places that were really good. And I built up what was called a CV. Because when I had just come, mind you, I had just been a high school student. So I didn't really know what a CV was, because that's not something that we really talk about in my country. Like, you don't just go into class and talk to your friend like, how did your CV go? No, no. I say, mon pote, c'est comment? Il dit que j'avais une nouvelle hier, j'avais ça hier, j'avais El Diablo hier. Listen, that's the conversations we have in class. We don't, no. It wasn't that serious. So I was focused on building up a CV, getting into work, learning work experience. I wasn't 16 yet, so I did, when I had turned 16 in November, September had started already. So I couldn't go into college. I had to wait for the next year that was meant to be the next academic year, because my birthday falls in November. And it's bad because if I was born after September, I have to wait for the previous September in order to go to school. So I had already waited, although my birthday was just coming a few months after September, I had wasted that 1 year. So I just had to do it. And then towards the end of the year, I started like applying to colleges. I got into Notre Dame. I got into Leeds City College. I got into Wakefield College. I had many offers from colleges where I had now options to pick and choose where I wanted to go. And so I also like the fact that I had that year off, because it was, to me, it was more like I had just found out that my mom was in a relationship. Although I knew that she was in a relationship when I was back home, I didn't know she was planning to move in with the man. And to me, it was more like when I was being told that, okay, my mom said to me, there's this man, I'm planning to move into another city, and you know, all of that. I was sad. I was sad. This is the part where I'll have to sit down and talk to you guys. I was really sad. But you know what? Every good thing in life happens for a reason. So I was sad, and then I said to him, I had just asked my mom, is this what you want to do? Are you happy? Are you sure? And she said, yes, really, I'm sure, I'm positive. This is a man I want to spend the rest of my life with. This is a man I want to be with. And I said, all right, well, you asked for a child. Sorry to send you a grown-ass woman, and we just have to deal with it. It is what it is. The little girl you left back home is now an adult. She knows what love is. She knows what relationship is. She's just trying to figure out her head around the whole relationship, love, marriage thing is. But I have a clue. And I believe that if you're happy with the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, you just need the rest of the world to be happy for you. And I thought at the time that's all my mom needed. She needed happiness. And if that happiness meant for us to have moved from Birmingham to Leeds, then that was it. So we moved Birmingham to Leeds. Two strangers who've just met, who need to spend time with each other, moving into another man's house. Now, what my mom didn't know was that I was struggling with personality issues. Although I used to smile and laugh around guys, I didn't really like guys because of the roughness of life that I had been through. I didn't really like guys, and just very peculiar few people that really knew that although I was all right, okay, talking to guys, I didn't really like them like that. And although I had been like pushed myself to had gone into relationships, there was just something I was looking for. And as time goes, you will understand what I was looking for, because it's just as I matured and recently that I have understood what is it I was looking for in those relationships. What is it I wanted when I was going into the arms of men? I was looking for something. It didn't make sense at the time, but exposure to education, to life, to different environment, to technology, and to different people has actually given me an understanding of what it is that I was searching. But at the time, I'll call it that I was in love. Let's just leave it like that. So we moved to Leeds. We started looking for houses. We found our first house. We settled in. I settled in with my mom at the time. It was a boyfriend at the time. Moved into with a boyfriend, with a partner. moved in with a partner and herself, and it was difficult. My mom and I used to fight about everything. We used to argue about everything. We had so many clashes when it came to so many things. And it was more because I didn't know her, she didn't know me, and we were all just trying to like adapt to a new environment. We're all carried away with our individual responsibilities that I don't think that she had the time to really sit down and be like, I've just been sent a child and I need to create time and, you know, for this child to be comfortable. But because I had already had that kind of childhood where I didn't grow in a specific location, I was constantly here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, Z, everywhere. Really, this literally, I lived everywhere. So I had already been used to not being stable in a particular place for a long period of time. I think the only house where I live with half of Cameroon. But so that was something my mom didn't really know that I needed that. But coming to understand certain things now, I wish that gap year was actually a period where I had focused on myself, because if I had focused on myself when I had come that gap year, then I would have, then the PTSD would have been identified at an earlier stage and not actually identified now. Because right now at my age, to say that I am struggling with mental health, PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, it's quite challenging because I am battling it with school, with work, with being a sister, with being a daughter. And one thing I'm grateful is that I am not carrying all of this in a relationship. So it's more like I've got enough time to focus on myself. But I was happy that although at the time I was trying to focus on one thing, which was my mom's happiness, she actually got that happiness, because today it's yielded a beautiful family. It's giving me a beautiful, beautiful sister, the best blessing, a miracle that happened to me in 2015, you know. But yeah, so that was how my first year in the UK was. It was a gap year. It was a year where I built up a CV, I built up connections, I made a couple of friends, I made a couple of acquaintances. I went to visit a couple of people, families and friends that I hadn't seen in a while. I was getting to know my new country. And so it was and during that period, during that year, it was a journey, because many times I was misunderstood, and there were a couple of moments where I wanted to open up, because I felt like, you know what, it is the right time to open up, especially when you've choked something so much, especially when the reasons why you're not wanting to do something is because you're trying to protect people. At the same time you're trying to protect people, you're exposing yourself. And that's something I've understood as time has gone. And yeah, I wanted to make this episode really short and brief, because there's not really much to talk in my first year. I'm gonna see you guys in episode 3. Now episode 3 is me taking you people into my life and my story in Cameroon, how childhood growing up was for me, how my experience was growing up for me. Like I said, let's talk, because it's my life. I have chosen to say it to you guys how I please. So the moments where I'm gonna jungle up stuff, because sometimes in my head the ideas are so many, but then I want to put them in the right words that are good for the audience, because it's both children and adults that are watching this. And what I'm trying to pass on out there, I don't want it to be interpreted in the wrong way. But it's more like it's about time that my story and my voice be heard, because I just feel like there many are people out there that we're gonna relate with. The logo for Let's Talk is out, and hopefully I'll see how I can insert it in this video. Thank you guys for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you guys in the next episode of Let's Talk. It's your girl Ace Debbie. Bye.